Greetings all. I'm Stevie Ray of Ray Esports and host of the Racing Line podcast. As you can see, we got a little different setup this week. I gave the co-host the week off. If, as you may know, if you saw last week's podcast, we decided to take a break this week and let the U.S. elections host center stage. We don't want to step on any toes at the White House, so we'll let them have it. I wanted to take a minute or two during our pause to thank all of our great guests we've had on the podcast, on the Racing Line, and to talk a little bit about what we're about, what's going on, and just what we do. We've enjoyed some great stories, got some insights from some very diverse points of view from all around the sim racing world and the real world of racing. We kick off every show with highlights from the previous round of the Weekend Warrior Series. All three of those leagues provide some of the best, the most competitive, and most respectful racing you can find on the service. If you don't believe me, check out any of our episodes, check out the highlights, and see for yourself. You'll be amazed at some of the finishes that they provide. After that, we get into the real fun with a special guest every week and have share some of his stories or her stories and background and how they involve sim and real world racing. So let me throw up a graphic for you and share some of our fun people that we've had in the past. So there you go. There's our me and the two co-hosts, JG2, myself, and Adam Thompson, who have all the fun. And then our guests come in every week and for various reasons, various experiences, and share with you and stories about their backgrounds. We get a wide spectrum of guests and from every aspect of sim racing communities, like I said. We've had sim racers who've transitioned from sim to track, like Megan Overstreet down there in the bottom left. She earned a scholarship from our very first Racing Line guest, Frank Swartz. Frank's raced real world for many years, decades even, sim raced, as well as promoted and ran sim leagues. He currently runs a prep shop with Mini Coopers and provides race car rentals. So check him out if you want to get on track. We've had some real world racers who also sim race as a secondary, and they're some of the best in their respective classes. For example, I give you Mr. Dave Ogburn up here in the upper right. Silver medalist 2 years running at the SCCA runoffs in one of the most highly competitive classes the SCCA has, the Spec Racer Gen 3. Dave's also a full-time Goodyear test driver. He's a racing coach, a sim racer, of course, and a member of our Weekend Warriors community. One of our most recent guests this last week, Mr. Jerry DePiero, up here, he is a real world racer as well. He's a new driver coach now. He races in the Champ Car Series endurance racing. He's a pretty good sim racer, if you ask me. We've had some race announcers who also race and announce in the sim world. Mr. Greg Ginsberg down here next to Frank, and as well as the new boss at our broadcaster of choice, slow motion broadcasting, Mr. Daniel Zippy Salmon, the big smiling face there in the middle. If these people don't give you an idea that sim racing has something for everybody, something of value, that you find your friends, entertainment, community, something to teach you, check out the episode with Jason Kotcher. He's up here next to Dave. Jason was a member of our Weekend Warriors group, turned his passion into a community as well. He opened a sim rental store in San Jose, California called the Sim Racers Group. He's created an awesome community down there, sharing everything from barbecues to leagues to coaching to practice setups to sim rig setup, meetups at real world racing events, a lot of social activity in conjunction with the racing. And if you ask me, that sounds just like real world club events. That's what it's all about, the community. For those who Know me, you know that's my passion, connecting the real world and the sim racers, and that's the big driving force behind this podcast. Both of those worlds can support and benefit from the other. Finally, I want to give a huge shout out and thanks to my two co-hosts. Co-host, I almost said it right. Without them, this podcast wouldn't exist. Mr. Adam Thompson, down here, Mr. Smiley Face. He is the founder of slow motion broadcasting that we use now. He's also an Air Force brother in arms. I'm an Air Force vet. So shout out to him, his background. He's also the tech brains behind the scenes. Mr. JG2, Jason Green, our resident sim coach and analyst. I can't begin to tell you how many hours he spends doing a review of all the incidents in any of the league races with anybody that wants to join in. Hours doing that every week. So a huge shout out. He also creates and uploads his own race streams. And he's the one that creates and shares the highlights of our Weekend Warrior races with you every week. So a lot of time spent supporting this and the community. Mr. Zippy Salmon, again, Joshua Wilkie there next to me, have helped step in and host when Adam was enjoying Uncle Sam's call for the weekend and have helped promote the broadcast as well. We got some great stuff planned for the future. Stay tuned and we'll introduce you to Trenton Kramer. He's the other half of Grass Paddock Motorsports with Frank Swartz from episode 1, like I said. He's been a Weekend Warriors racer for many seasons. He's transitioned to the real world. He should have some great stories, unique perspective on providing support to drivers and drivers renting cars, just getting started in the real world of racing, as well as sim racing. He helps them get started there. Mr. Darren Ganges in the queue. He's Mr. Sim Motion. His name should be well known to the sim world for many, many years. I met him in 2016, I think, at a conference. He's the current sponsor of our Ray Esports Club Racing League that's going to be going now till April. Huge shout. Check him out. He's also the sponsor of the iRacing official Formula Ford 1600 Rookie Series. So he does a lot for the sim world. We've got a great group of followers every week in our chat. Tons of fun. Those guys are really active. We try to respond and interact with them as much as possible. If you get a chance, join them. It's join us. It's just that's what it's all about, the community, and they're a huge part of our community. All that said, I'd like to finish up with an invite to join us every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, Ray Esports YouTube channel. If you can't join us live, it would be up on my YouTube channel later. So check us out anytime. Check out any of the past episodes. We'll have some fun, watch some racing, check out the highlights, and we'll share some special time with our special friends and guests every week. So till then, till next week and further down the road, as I say at the end of our sessions, we'll see you on the other side. So cheers, my friends.